We are Filisia. At Filisia, we work with people with disabilities, people that have cerebral palsy, autistic spectrum disorders, people that had a stroke and traumatic brain injury. These people benefit a lot from active musical engagement, from playing music. It helps them emotionally and psychologically. It's beneficial for them cognitively because music is a great learning tool. It's good for them physically because it gives them the motivation to move their hands and their fingers. Plus, in the past few years, there's been a lot of fascinating research on how active musical engagement supports and catalyzes brain plasticity and the effect that this has to people with acquired conditions. So for the past year, we started creating an instrument, year and a half, we started creating an instrument together with therapists. So in one hand, it gives musical expression to people with disabilities, and on the other hand, it's specifically designed to support the rehabilitation program. It's made up of 5 units. Here you can see a workshop that we did lately with kids that have cerebral palsy and autism, and my colleague Irini here is going to show you in a little bit how it works. It has 5 units. They're very sensitive. They have LED lights inside. You can adjust the sensitivity to motivate the user to press harder or to press softer, depending on what they need to do. You can also, sorry? Yeah. This is the orchestration game. We have many ways that you can use the device depending on the ability of the user to their cognitive abilities as well as their physical abilities. This is an orchestration game, so it's for people with more advanced cognitive abilities. But we also have simpler ones. There is a cause and effect interaction. It's for people that recently had a stroke or traumatic brain injury. We have a follow score interaction that's designed for people that have cerebral palsy. We've designed other interactions that are specifically designed for people with autism. What are the benefits of our approach? Well, it's a great recreational tool. It enables musical expression, but also the sense of self-accomplishment. Secondly, it's a great cognitive training tool. It helps people's sensory integration, but also learning a reaction to stimuli, following of instructions, and other similar benefits. In the physical rehabilitation tool, it gives the ability, the motivation to people to reach further, to press harder. These units are detachable, so we have the motivation to reach. And also they can facilitate group interactions. And then it's a great evaluation tool because we collect data on users' physical and cognitive abilities, and this is valued very highly by therapists because they can track the evolution of users' capacities, especially when they're doing something that they're motivated into doing. There are very few tools for this thing. How do we know all this? Here's the link to our research summary, but we have developed our interface with more than 100 users, and 42 therapists have assessed this through qualitative assessment and participant observation. They come from different specialties. We have won quite a few international awards for our approach to health and social entrepreneurship. We're working with 2 rehabilitation centers. One of the most important later developments is that we are going to be hosted through an acceleration program at the Google campus in London for a whole year. But the greatest validation is that users and therapists find really significant value in what we do in many, many ways. These are some of the testimonials we had. Lately, we did this workshop, and this just came through our email only, this last week. Now, let's turn to the business. There are 40 million people in the markets of US, Europe, and Canada, and Australia, where our system is applicable. We are starting off with the German and the UK market because our network is based there. We have a hybrid model. We have a subscription-based model for hospital and rehabilitation centers because they need a lot of interactions for different difficulty levels, a lot of data. And then we have a direct sales for the home users. We have started now doing clinical research. We're collecting data with a professor in neurological pediatrics. So we want to prove with clinical studies also the effectiveness of our product and then work with insurers so that home users are reimbursed. Right now, how we build partnerships, we do it manually. We go to the centers, we show them what we got, they quite like it. They ask us for demos, they ask us for to do studies with them, we have some pre-orders. Then we want to take them to fairs once we finish our beta testing, and then through a referral program and content and online marketing, we want to reach to home users, and especially social media, because families of people with disabilities use them a lot. We're a team of 5. We have a designer, an interaction designer, our software engineer. We have our electronics engineer who works specifically on medical devices, and my colleague Irini is doing business development and operations. We have our mentors already from our current incubator, but with the accelerator that we're going to London, we have a very rich set of mentors. What are we going to do with the money? Right now, we fix it. We make this ourselves. We're into a molding production, but we want to make it far better. We will work with the Proto Labs in the UK, which is ISO certified. It's going to drop our cost quite a lot, but also the time that it takes to develop. Here are our projections. We expect to launch our product and exit the beta stage in about 6 months. We will expect to break even a year after we launch. We constantly want to reinvest in R&D and new technologies, but also to improve what we have, and in the next years to create more products. And this is where our vision comes in, because through the last couple of years that we have been researching this, and then a year and a half doing testing, we have created a substantial knowledge base on how we can motivate people with disabilities to improve their own lives and rehabilitate better. So our sector is quite parochial, and there is much need for what we are creating. I look forward for your questions.